Hi everyone, it's Mike with Crane Realty. We're at the start of a new month here in September. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. Hopefully all of you are outdoors enjoying yourselves. So that means that we're going to be looking at last month's inventory now that the month of August is officially over. And today we're kind of doing a twofer as the month of August kind of got away from me. I did not get a chance to do the previous month's inventory to that one, which is July. So we're going to be looking at both of those. And the reason why we create these videos is really help everyone out there, whether you're a buyer or seller, really is kind of putting a finger on the pulse to understand our market, how much is in inventory, basic economics. If there's a lot more inventory, that means there's potential for prices to go down. Maybe there's a good explanation to that. If there's a lot less inventory, there's very few listings, that could be an explanation for prices going up, or the different behaviors and stuff in the market regarding buyers and sellers and so on. So this kind of clues in on that, and it's always been a really important video that I try to share with a lot of my clients. So without much further delay, let's get right into the numbers. So with this screenshot here, we're looking at the MLS. We are looking in a time frame of 10 years. We're going to focus primarily on this past year, but just to give a reference, it's always kind of a nice thing to do. Number of new listings in the group by sorting by month, and we're going to look in the area of Ontario County. So that's where our main office is. It's kind of a nice reflection of just south of Rochester, not quite in the southern tier of Canada, the Finger Lakes. So Ontario is kind of a nice mix of that to understand both. If you wanted to see a chart view, it would look something like this. So when I tell buyers and I use the phrase backswing of the market, really it's referring to the amount of inventory that we have. It really weans off getting into November, December, and even January. That's all of these months way down here. And then we have the spike, this going up trajectory. That's actually the summertime. So summertime's up here, and then our big drop happens down here. So if you want the most amount of inventory as a buyer, you're probably looking somewhere in the summertime. If you're going to be a seller, it's really not too much of a wrong time to be putting your property onto the market, but certainly there's different things that you got to take into consideration and certain nuances regarding each property. But let's click on data, and just for fun, you can see back here, month of April, May, June. I mean, great amount of inventory, pushing high 200s, 300s. That is more, this was really when it was a buyer's market. If you've ever had a family member or friend purchase anywhere in this time frame, they would talk very optimistically about, well, we had all sorts of contingencies that we would ask for, and we would see the property, or it was on the market for several months before we came along. Those are traditionally not stories that you hear today. And here's why. A lack of inventory, or compared to the previous 5 years. Obviously, we have our COVID pandemic kind of time frame in here. We're gratefully kind of weaning out of that scenario. But you could see right here, so our 2022 has looked like the following. You can juxtapose that to the previous year. Inventory-wise, we're doing pretty good. July actually surprised me. It took a pretty significant drop. We were anticipating it really should try to hit and be north of that 250 mark, and it didn't even break 200, which is really surprising. The month of August kind of saved us a little bit in trying to save face and staying around 200 plus. This future, well, the month that we're in right now in September, it would be nice to break 200. This indication actually kind of suggests to me that I'm anticipating that we won't break 200 for Ontario County as far as new listings, our inventory hitting the market. So perhaps that's going to help sellers out a little bit. We were wondering during this time right here, which is so far, May and June was kind of the highest points for inventory. The month of June was really when the Fed ratcheted up the interest rates, and we're all wondering what type of impact is that going to have. There's you could theoretically kind of lean into it and say, well, perhaps some sellers got wind and wanted to postpone their listings or wait until buyer strength kind of increased a little bit. For me personally, that actually happened with a small handful of sellers that pushed off listing until a later time. So if that happened to me, I can imagine that happened to a handful of other people. So just wanted to share my thoughts on that. If anyone has any other questions, certainly feel free, reach out, give me a call. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future content as we come out with new information each week. Thanks everyone. Again, I'm Mike with Crane Realty, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.